Please subscribe my channel. I had ironed my shirt twice, even polished the old pair of shoes that rarely saw the light of day. Tonight was supposed to matter. My wife Claire had been reminding me all week that her law firm's annual gala was the biggest event of the year. She spoke of it with a kind of reverence, as if the very act of attending meant you belonged among the city's elite. I wasn't excited about the overpriced cocktails or the endless legal jargon, but I wanted to stand by her. That's what husbands do. So, when I arrived at the hotel ballroom, my chest tightened at the sight of the guest list table. A young woman with a sharp black dress and a clipboard smiled politely. "Name?" she asked. "Ethan Harris," I replied, glancing toward the glowing chandeliers, already imagining finding Claire among her colleagues. Her finger traced the paper once, then again. She frowned. "I'm sorry, sir. I don't see your name." I laughed nervously. "Maybe it's under Claire Harris? She's one of the attorneys here." She looked again, then shook her head. "Claire's listed, but there's no guest under her name." My stomach dropped. Claire had told me I was invited, hadn't she? She'd said, "It's black tie optional, so at least look sharp." The words replayed in my head, suddenly mocking me. "Could you check again?" I asked, heat rising to my face. "I'm sorry," she repeated, firm this time. "If you're not on the list, I can't let you in." Behind her, laughter spilled from the ballroom. Through the glass doors, I spotted Claire in a silver dress, dazzling under the lights. She wasn't alone. She stood beside Marcus Whitmore, her CEO, the man I had heard about endlessly over dinners. Brilliant, charismatic, untouchable. He leaned close, whispering something that made her laugh, her hand brushing his arm like they were sharing a secret. My jaw tightened. I pulled out my phone and dialed her number. She answered on the second ring. "Claire," I said, forcing calm. "They don't have me on the list. Can you come sort this out?" There was a pause. Too long of a pause. Then her voice came, sharp, rehearsed. "Ethan, you weren't supposed to come tonight." My heart stopped. "You told me I was invited," I said, gripping the phone tighter. The words tasted bitter, like betrayal itself. Claire sighed on the other end, her tone impatient. "I said it was black tie optional, not that you were on the guest list. Ethan, this is a professional event. It's important for my career. I can't have distractions." Distractions. The word shot through me like a blade. "I'm your husband." Before she could reply, Marcus appeared in my line of sight. He leaned casually against the ballroom entrance, glass of champagne in hand, smirking at me through the glass doors. And then, like a scene designed to humiliate, I saw him place a hand on Claire's lower back as if guiding her, as if he had a claim to her that I didn't. She didn't resist. "Claire," I whispered, voice shaking now. "Why is your CO touching you like that?" Her silence told me more than words ever could. "Go home, Ethan," she said finally. "We'll talk later." The line went dead. I stood there, phone still pressed to my ear, the world tilting. People in suits brushed past me, flashing their name tags and laughing at jokes I wasn't part of. The girl with the clipboard avoided my eyes now, uncomfortable with my collapse. For a moment, I considered walking away, swallowing the humiliation like I had so many times before when Claire dismissed me. But then I remembered the late nights she'd come home smelling of whiskey and cologne that wasn't mine. The endless working dinners that stretched until dawn. My gut had screamed the truth for months, but I had silenced it with trust. Now standing outside that glass door, trust was dead. I didn't storm in. I didn't create a scene. Instead, I pulled out my phone again, but this time not to call her. I opened the camera. Through the glass, I zoomed in and captured the sight of my wife laughing into Marcus's ear, her hand lingering on his arm. Evidence. Not for revenge, not yet, but for clarity. For proof that I wasn't crazy. That the betrayal I felt had a face. I slipped the phone back into my pocket, straightened my shirt, and walked away. My name might not have been on their list, but one day, they'd regret crossing mine off. I didn't sleep that night. I sat in the kitchen with only the hum of the refrigerator for company, replaying every moment of our marriage in my head. The way she used to laugh at my stupid jokes. The way she once swore we were a team. And now, her name whispered in another man's ear, while mine was erased from her world. At sunrise, Claire stumbled in. Her heels clicked across the floor as if nothing had happened. She dropped her purse on the counter, avoided my eyes, and poured herself a glass of water. How was the party? I asked quietly. She froze, glass halfway to her lips. It was fine, she said flatly. Fine. I pulled out my phone and placed it on the table between us. One tap, and the screen lit up with the photo I had taken. Her and Marcus laughing, touching, too close for anything professional. Her face drained of color. Ethan, she whispered, panic flashing in her eyes. Don't bother lying, I said, my voice steadier than I expected. Last night, you cut me off the guest list. But here's the truth, you've been cutting me off for months. Cutting me out of your time, your trust, your love. And now I finally see why. She tried to speak, but nothing came out. Tears welled up, but I didn't feel sorry for her anymore. You wanted Marcus, I continued. You wanted a man who could parade you through fancy parties while I waited outside. Well, Claire, congratulations, you got him. But you don't get me anymore. Her tears spilled over, her voice breaking. Please, Ethan, don't do this. It was a mistake. No, I said firmly, standing up. The mistake was believing I wasn't good enough. Believing I had to accept scraps of love while you gave the rest to someone else. But last night, when you left me outside that door, you freed me. I grabbed my coat and walked to the door. She followed, sobbing, begging, but I didn't look back. As I stepped outside, the morning air hit my face, crisp and clean. For the first time in years, I could breathe. Her law firm party might have erased my name from the guest list. But in doing so, Claire erased her place in my life. And that was the only list that truly mattered.